And then I read about half of the book, and I got the first script. Jack Bender, David E. Kelly, and it was like it was like a Bizarro World version. So it was these small details, these little tiny things that were different, and so I was like, this is crazy, my mind's exploding. So I decided to go strictly with the scripts. But I'm very much looking forward to maybe going back after we make it, but hopefully we'll make more, and so I sort of like to maintain a kind of just work with what I've been given in this particular world that I'm, designing in my imagination.
So, I was going to say, how much of an idea do you have about how this could continue once this first season is done? Have they given you kind of an idea?
We'll do like 25 seasons.
Right.
And then Stephen King will move into my apartment, and then we'll just be writing books together and about Lou Linklater. No, yeah, seriously, that is what I hope to have happen. Well, right now there's 3 books, and season 1 is book 1. Now, this is definitely a Jack Bender question, so when he comes along, you can ask him that. But I'm not sure with the second book how they're gonna adapt it, and it's like, how do you build an ensemble show that then has different characters that are introduced in book 2, and then it comes back around in book 3. I don't know if you guys have read all the books. I didn't read them all, but I had my mother read them all and then tell me about it, which is the same thing we did with my 10th grade book reports. So I'm glad I'm continuing that tradition in my life. Yeah.
So what was it that made you want to do this role, take on this part, be part of this project?
I felt like from the DP to the set designer to the costumes to the executive producers to the network to everybody involved in this seems to be charging towards something artful and something that has a voice, and a specific voice that is designed and crafted, and Jack Bender and David E. Kelly's voice behind that. Everyone kind of, how can you not get on board with that? Not to mention Brendan Gleeson is was my hero. I lived in Ireland when I was a kid, and I went to Trinity College for a year, and Brendan Gleeson is basically like Elvis Presley. He's like the Irish Elvis Presley. I hope he watches this interview, because he'll buy me a pint if he hears that I said that.
So will your character get to interact with him in upcoming episodes?
So Hodges, this is a detective story. It's a detective thriller. So we start into the furthest away these two worlds could be, and they begin to collide, and you'll have to see how it all folds out, but these worlds come together. There's a folding in. They don't stay separate. The worlds don't keep going apart. I'm like, Hodges moves to Atlanta. Just kidding.
When you were reading the script, was there an entry point into the character where you went, that's it, I've got her, this is who she is?
Never.
Really?
There isn't even an entry point like that in my life. I'm still working that out for myself. I think when I work on a project, I end up learning things that I am then informed by as a person. So it's sort of the sensation where, sometimes people in the world walk around knowing who they are. I don't know who I am in real life. I do it at the base core, and I guess you sort of dream up a dream as an actor and hope that the love and empathy of the story will have a bass hum as well. Mm-hmm. You kind of dream for that, as you do in life, I guess.
So what did you learn from working on this project?
I learned a lot about how it feels to work in a shitty job. I learned a lot about how important it is to just have a job and how you need to keep your job, but how so many jobs, like in this job I work at a discount electronics store called Supreme Electronics. It's sort of like a, hey, and I don't know what it's like to work at Best Buy. I don't want to knock on Best Buy, but you see places like Walgreens, and not Walgreens, Walmart, and you hear these workers trying to unionize, and that's something that I talk about in this show, and like we need to get the union on it. There's a lot of me talking about this sort of justified disgruntled worker, and it's not on the worker, it's on the corporations to treat people with, like they have an ounce of dignity. And that was something that I was like living in, just every time we shot, just living in this like store with the track fluorescent lighting, and every customer that comes in is either nice or not, but that the management top down thinks of us as disposable non-entities. And like, it's how a lot of people live in the United States right now. And we have politicians talking about jobs, and corporations giving people jobs, but it's like, well, do you have to go to work every day and be abused by
2 minutes left, guys, just see.
Do you have to go to work and get berated by a superior that is inferior? And so I learned a lot about that feeling, and just about that feeling of, I also learned a lot about having tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos and I don't have any real tattoos. And so they put these tattoos on me, and I would frequently leave them on, and I would there's like a tattoo stigma out in the world, especially if you have neck tattoos. I had these neck tattoos, and when I was living in Charleston, they palmade my hair back, and I had these neck tattoos, and I was like, just living in that world. Like I was like, well, I could wash my hair and wash the tattoos off, or I could just like go to the coffee shop. And I found out that like women who also have like visible tattoos, there's like a secret club, and if you go get a coffee from like ladies with tattoos, like you'll get little discounts. Like there's definitely, she's looking at me like, you don't have any visible tattoos? You don't know? And then I would have a moment where they'd be like, I like your tattoo, and I'd be like, it's fake. And then they'd be like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, why is this woman going at the coffee shop with fake neck tattoos?
Well, if we haven't read the book, for people who haven't read the book, how does your character interact with Mr. Mercedes?
We work together.
Yeah.
We're friends. Brady Hartsfield is my work friend. We talk about shit. We spend a lot of time together. We are buds. And I can suspect this in the story, but he doesn't really have any other buds. He does some things that would suggest, if you ask him, he'll say that he has no empathy towards me and he doesn't like me, but he totally is in love with me. Brady Hartsfield's in love with me.